We have this other dude. I brought him up many times. I don't remember him. I just remember his
Oh,
PFP name. But I remember he's annoying. So let's see how this goes. Hey, what's up?
what's up?
What's the
Yeah.
rational reason to believe in God?
Would you say rationality falls under cause and effect?
Sorry, what?
Would you say rationality falls under cause and effect?
Rational reason is like a justifying reason. So
Yeah.
it's like an inferential reason to believe in some
Okay.
proposition.
And all propositions fall under cause and effect.
Well, I mean, we
No.
have descriptions of cause and effect in physics, like event A causing event B, and the
Mhm.
maximum is typically
Yeah,
defined
yeah.
there as like the speed
And
of light, but that's different than like in inferences that we use in like
a
math and logic.
cause and effect relationship has nothing to do with like rational reasons. Maybe you want to say that some item is like explained by some further item, right? And it's a causal relation that's the type of explanatory relation. But that would like that's not an epistemic reason to in fact to make the claim there's a cause and effect relationship would just be like a claim in itself, like an assertion that would need like rational reason. So no, like cause and effect.
I, I would honestly disagree. I would say everything that we observe within
Disagree
reality,
about what?
everything within reality has cause and effect um,
Like what are you disagreeing with?
underlined within it. You're saying you basically said that rationality does not deal with cause and effect all the
Well,
Yeah,
time.
rationality doesn't deal with cause and effect. You can be like a causal nihilist, a limitivist, quietist. You can be a causal subjectivist.
yeah,
You could be a causal naturalist, a Platonist, right?
yeah.
And those are all like assertions that can have independent rational reason. Look, just to be clear, causation is like a metaphysical thesis. Rational reasons are like reasons under epistemic norms. They're,
Yeah.
they're not at all
Yeah,
related.
I'm,
Can
I'm,
I
I'm
can I
not.
give you
I don't
like
study
a
philosophy. I don't know any of your terms like that, my guy.
well,
Um,
like let me
Yeah.
give you an example. Like let's say I said that the natural numbers are a proper subset of the integers. I didn't invoke causality at all with that inference, right? I just used subset relations.
subset relations that have causality within it.
No, no, they
There
don't
was
have
no notion of
causality.
cause and effect there.
There is motion of
Just to be
progression.
clear, causation deals with like a connection between events. When you describe, value like axiology or mathematical entities, they're not
Mhm.
events, right? And they're not, unless you're like a Platonist or like some other type of metaphysically queer realist, you're not going to believe like there are these mathematical entities, like number one, exist in the world, right? Maybe you can assign things like mathematical value, but when we make like the mathematical inference that 1 + 1 = 2, that's the mat one isn't an event. The plus symbol, right? The mathematical operator of addition isn't an event. None of the items in the relata of the mathematical inference there are eventual, such that it's a causal connection. Yeah,
Yeah,
so but
you.
look,
I'm saying.
causality doesn't deal with rational reasons because look, a rational reason's just like a justifier for a claim. And look, I can make the claim there is no such thing as causality, and that's a claim that you can have a rational reason to believe. So like nothing about causality deals with rational reason. You can have rational reason against there being
I
cause and
okay.
effect.
Well, like I said, you're using all these terms. Like I know you went to school for philosophy, or you just studied this shit. I don't study philosophy, so um, it's cool.
Yeah, so but
But
causality is just like a connection between events. That's what
Mhm.
causality is.
Yeah.
And
okay.
epistemic reason is like a justification for a claim. Right? Justification for a claim and a connection between events are not identical. In fact,
Tell
they
me,
don't
tell
have
me a
like very
claim.
strong
Well, okay. So give me an
continuation.
example of a rational claim that does not have causality within it.
Well, I gave
Well,
one earlier, right?
yeah,
The
he gave
natural
the
numbers.
mathematical one.
Yeah.
But
So
also
So
you could just be a nihilist about any like look, you can be a nihilist or like a limitivist about causation. So I can even say John walked his dog, right? And
so
there's no causal connection there.
without to me, if you take causality off of rationality, you basically say anything could fit under the term of rational.
What?
what?
If you take causality outside of, and you say rationality and causality does not really coincide with each other, anything can then be prescribed as rational thought.
No.
Yes, because you don't have a
Where are you getting
reason.
that?
Because you don't really have a reason to say that this is rational. Because the
Where are you getting you wouldn't have a reason?
how would you have a how would you have a how would you have a reason to get to a conclusion without a proper deduction
Because a
of by
cause,
getting to
because
the conclusion.
deduction isn't causal. Deduction isn't causal.
Yeah, we could do mathematics without invoking causality at all.
Yeah, logic is just like this linguistic schema of reason that you use like certain operators and variables to like infer certain conclusions. They're not causal. Again, like when you said you wouldn't have reasons, you wouldn't have causal reasons. Causal reason is a type of reason. It's a type of explanatory reason. But when we talk about rational reason doesn't deal with explanatory reason. It deals with like inferential justification, right? Like, look, abduction is why I would think some explanatory reason might be the best explanatory reason, right? It's an inference to the best explanation. So if the type of explanation is causal, then yeah, some abductions would deal with causation, but literally none of the three like, look, rational reasons deal with probability, plausibility, and deduction, and none of the three are like analytically contribute to causation at all, right? There again, one is logical, one's mathematical, and the other one's like philosophy of science, which just deals with scientific epistemic norms. So none of the three deal with this metaphysical thesis of causation. I mean, they might, right? A certain person might have like certain causal commitments that like intertwine with their whole like conceptual schema or worldview, but like
Yeah.
simplicator, there's no connection simplicator
Yeah.
or analytically.
Okay. Maybe yeah. You're not using any terms that I'm really too familiar with. I'll just give an example of what I'm saying when I'm saying causality of anything. I'm saying anything that we speak of or know of has a reference point to point to.
Well, if you're,
What?
so we do include like causality in our scientific models. Like general relativity includes causality. We also sometimes talk about with like quantum mechanics. But again, we don't need to invoke causality just to do basic mathematics and deductive reasoning.
It's also not even like a meta-causal view, so it doesn't talk about causal realism or anything. Like, you can
Okay,
literally
so
subscribe to any meta-causal sense and be compatible with like
okay.
relativity. You can be a
So my
fictionalist about causation.
okay. So what is the cause? So when you're doing a math problem, the cause to me of starting that problem would be you trying to figure out um you trying to get to the bottom of an equation that you're looking to
But
solve.
that's including the agent in the equation, right? And the reasons, like that's just the causal influence for the agent to consider the mathematical expression. That's different
That's
from the
fine.
mathematical expression in itself, right?
Yeah, but
Insofar
I'm,
as
I'm
the
saying
mathematical
you. I'm
expression.
saying I'm saying you, but you're
But
doing the
yeah, but
you
okay,
are the
just to be
agent
clear, there's not
applying.
okay. Look, let's just try and move past this. Causation does nothing, has nothing to do with rational reason. Now, what's the reason to believe that
What?
a mind created the universe?
That's my argument. Is that you are it's
You didn't
irrational.
even make an argument either.
I did. I'm saying it's irrational to think that cause does not have an agent applied to it from the beginning.
Wait, okay, okay. What's irrational?
Irrational is saying that anything that has an effect um did not come from a cause already.
That's that's not what. Oh my God, this has nothing to do with the existence of God.
How?
Yeah, I
You
would agree. People who subscribe to cause and effect and think that there is an effect, which just means has a preceding cause, and they deny it has a cause, is a contradiction. That has nothing to do with, first, that's not an argument. In fact, you even regurgitated it's irrational. So you're just remaking the assertion that the antithesis is true, and you haven't actually made an argument to establish that. But secondly, that has nothing to do with whether a God exists. That's just someone who
let me
believes that there's an effect and no cause entails a contradiction. If a
okay.
causal connection is just a cause precedes an effect.
Okay, cool. So how did you come to the conclusion personally that God does not exist?
Why do I believe is what you're asking me, that God doesn't exist?
Yeah, how did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, so first, if you do a basic stalking horse objection, which you wouldn't be able to do because you don't know philosophy well, but if you understood scientific, like philosophy of science and the epistemic or theoretical virtues that contribute to philosophy of science,
Hmm.
the way we would understand plausibility, if
Hmm.
we, simpliciter understand atheism as the dogmastic view God doesn't exist, or the belief God doesn't exist, versus the view God does exist, theism, it's introducing an additional ontological commitment. But even worse, if you know basic metaphysics, there's a difference between type token ontology, and when you say that there's a supernatural entity, that's going to be type ontology. So that's infinitely that's infinitely less plausible than any naturalistic theory. Now, whether or not naturalism, metaphysical naturalism versus metaphysical supernaturalism, or like a mixture, a conjunction of like some items are natural, some are supernatural, whatever. Simplicator, like the fact that one is like more explanatory, right? Let's say like somehow, let's say you believe that supernaturalism is more explanatory. That's a synthetic fact, not analytic, or an a posteriori fact rather. So, simplicator, when we just consider atheism and theism cerebus paribus, atheism is just inherent. It's actually more than infinitely more like plausible, just due to like type ontology. Another thing is the fact that when we talk about a mind creating a universe, first I'm a physicalist about the mind. So again, I would just eliminate this like ontological commitment of like some supernatural mind. I don't make any sense of it. But also when we say God created the universe and the universe is the unification of space and time. So when God created the universe, that means there's a point in which God created time. And there's just going to be a clear contradiction that there's an instant prior to the universe, and prior is a temporal notion. So there's like a point in time before the universe, and the universe encompasses time. So there's like a clear contradiction we can spell out. So that's like another reason to deny the existence of God. And also another one, it would just be based on like rationality. There's no rational reasons for me to believe in God. So based on that, I can do like Bayesian analysis, and due to my priors, it's just unlikely that anything is like explained supernaturally. So it's just like unlikely that a God exists from that. So those are like literally in every aspect of like, rationality, it's just vicious to believe in God.
Yeah. My first question to that is, what is there a fine line? Are you a materialist in general, or are you a physicalist in general? Like,
I'm not
do
a
you
materialist. I'm
okay,
a
so
physicalist about the mind.
okay, about the mind. So, do you believe what is your gray line between material and immaterial? Is there a difference?
Yeah, material means that it's extended in space. Immaterial means it's not extended in space.
It's not extended in space. What do you mean by extended in space?
This pencil is extended in space because I can measure the space. I can measure it's like maybe like, I don't know, 3.5 centimeters or something, or maybe 2.5 inches, right? I
Mm-hmm.
can measure I can measure the spatial extension of the pen with a ruler,
Mm-hmm.
right? An immaterial object, I wouldn't be able to grab a ruler and measure. It just
Okay.
doesn't
So then, by that
take up
definition,
space.
we would agree that a quark or protons are immaterial, if that's your definition.
No,
No, they exist
no.
on like fields, right? We can see that there is like
You can
extension of
measure it.
like the, yeah, you can measure particles
Yeah.
and like subatomic particles and stuff.
You can
They're
measure.
excitations, right? You can literally measure the excitation on a field.
And keep in mind that
So
with respect to like those fundamental particles, the proton is actually pretty massive. It's made up of three quarks, two up quarks and a down quark, and then you have the gluons
yeah.
that bind those like quarks together.
So then, give me an example of immateriality.
I don't believe anything's immaterial, so I don't have an example. But people
So
believe
then,
God exists outside the universe.
so then,
So
okay, then
he's
so everything fits up. So you're material. So then you
no, I'm
basically
not a materialist.
every if you don't believe anything fits under non-material, that means everything else is material.
No, here, let me explain. So
Is
there's a
there
difference between, no,
what?
look, let's say I believe, that's, okay, let me explain. There's a set of things I believe, a set of items that I believe exist. For every item in that set, each item has the predicate of being natural. So in my, the web or the set of my beliefs, all the items of my beliefs are natural. So I believe there's only natural things. But that's different from like metaphysical materialism, which is a robust metaphysical view that posits all things that exist are necessarily material. Now, I'm not denying that there's a possibility that there's something out of my web of like beliefs that might exist that is like non-material, right? Like, look, I don't know if aliens exist. I don't have a belief about aliens. It's possible that aliens exist on another planet, maybe even outside of like our observable universe, right? So that's like an example of something that can exist that I just don't have a belief about, or maybe even disbelieve. But whether the substance of an alien is immaterial is like
How would
different.
you? But it's not. It's irrelevant whether it exists or not exists, because if you can't if by definition it has to be measurable within space,
No,
that means
but
you would
it does matter
it
because
would never
materialism is the view
it would
that whatever
okay it would
exists
never be
has to be.
measured. It would never be measured to never be known. So it would never exist by
But look,
virtue of
unless you're in no, but that's unless you're an empiricist, then people are just going to deny that you can only know things that are just material.
I'm using your definition. I'm saying by virtue.
Right? No,
This
I'm
is what
saying that
this is the
you
meaning of
can
your
you can
definition. If
no look,
if
I'm
it
saying you
cannot
can
be
come to
measured,
know no, but
it
look, I'm saying
cannot
you
be
can come
known.
to know that things are immaterial as long as you're not like an empiricist. Empiricists are going to believe whatever things can only be known in virtue of like our faculties, our cognitive faculties that only can like apprehend the material world.
Yeah. But then you're
Yeah,
talking
I'm
about
not an empiricist.
but at the core of that, you're getting into belief now. Then, as soon as you're saying that
Yeah, because
you
you went from I'm a
believe,
materialist, but I was just talking about my beliefs.
okay, so let me just straighten this all out. Your beliefs is that it is possible that something immaterial can exist. Your
Yeah,
rationality of how you look at reality is saying that anything that counts as non-material is material, and it has to be measured in space in order for it to be counted as materialistic for you. So your beliefs is it is possible, but what I'm speaking on is if you believe that something immaterial is possible, then you you aren't really ever opening up your mind to that possibility under your virtues of your own definition of what it means to be immaterial. So even if it does
I don't.
exist,
What are you talking
even if
about?
it does,
I just don't
even if it
have a
doesn't,
reason to believe that
but if
there's
Yeah,
it
I
an
don't see
doesn't,
how
immaterial
that
object.
even gets you to
because if
God.
it
Like, there's some atheists that might be Platonists, for instance.
Yeah,
Like,
look, you can actually be a supernaturalist and an atheist, to be clear, because atheism doesn't entail naturalism. Because naturalism, look, naturalism, materialism, physicalism, these are all views of substance and metaphysics, right? An atheist just doesn't believe a mind created the universe.
so I don't
Now,
even
they can still believe that there's objects that are different substances in the world,
I
right? They
don't
don't have to believe everything subsists under a natural substance to believe, like, you can
I
still
don't
believe
know.
that there are different substances in the world and a mind didn't create the universe.
Yeah, so now I'm just completely confused on what you are in general because
I'm,
I don't
I,
understand how you ground rationality within belief at that
What do you mean
point.
ground rationality?
Because
I don't know
your
what that
whole thing
means.
about what is rational, what is irrational, has to do with like I'm guessing physics and math
No, rationality doesn't
and
deal
logic.
with physics and
And
math. Rationality deals with induction, abduction, and
yeah, I wasn't
deduction.
done. I was getting to that point. Everything. I'm not just including. I'm not just saying one aspect of it. I'm saying everything. It has everything compiled to that rationality.
He wouldn't know what grounding is. That's not.
What are you
But
talking
no,
about?
yeah,
You know what you
you are
can't ground.
misusing
If
grounding, by the way.
I'm not misusing grounding because it sounds like your grounding of your
You are.
rationality comes from
Okay,
belief.
what do you think grounding is?
It's the core. It's the core. It's the core reasoning as to how you get to your end all
Yeah, that's
end
not what grounding
conclusion.
is
You
in
ground.
philosophy.
Okay, so tell me what your definition of grounding is because in order for
It's not.
you
It's the
to
way that it's standardly used in philosophy. Like if you
okay
read Kip Fine, yeah, if you read Kip Fine, or anyone who like is prominent in the field of grounding relations, what a grounding is like a metaphysical relation between an object and its predicate, right? Where Kip Fine would say that a red car, the red is grounded in the car.
okay.
okay cool.
Yeah,
So
it's like an
so
instantiation relation.
okay cool. So that's exactly. Tell me what different did you say about what how did you say anything different than what I just said?
Because you said, how do you ground rationality?
Yes, how do you ground rationality within your core?
Rationale.
Your ground.
I
Okay,
don't
so you
take it to be
ground.
metaphysically grounded. It's not rash. Like maybe something being rational is a predicate, right? It could be
Okay,
like it could be grounded in some
you're saying
agent's
is there
reasonings.
rational reasons to believe in God? You just told
Yeah.
me under 2 minutes ago that you believe it's possible to for something immaterial to exist.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
believe that it's possible for something immaterial to exist, you believe it's possible for a God to exist. So
No, that
since you
doesn't
believe,
follow.
What?
No, that doesn't
what?
follow.
What do you if immaterial, spaceless,
I
timeless?
already told you you can be an atheist and still be a supernaturalist. So you can be a robust atheist. You can deny that it's possible God exists and still believe that there are objects that are immaterial.
Oh, good lord. Okay, cool. So You're so I would so basically your only definition of supernatural is a mind.
No,
So what is your definition of
that's
supernatural?
not how I define super. Oh my
What
god.
is what is
Because
irrational to you? What is irrational to you? Is if it's not materialistic and
yeah,
it's immeasurable and
irrational.
and
Irrational is
it's
just a type
invisible
of
and it's still
no. What?
rational.
Look, irrationality
What is
is.
the scaling of
I'm trying.
irrational?
Hold on. Irrationality is a type of reason that doesn't conduce to the three epistemic systems that that are employed in what we consider rationality. So if it's a reason that's non-deductive, inductive, or abductive, it's going to be an irrational reason, right? There's prudential, there's moral, there's a set of other types of reasons that are non-rational, right? All I mean by rational reason is a reason that justifies that God exists. If someone came here and said, I believe in God because, I used to be a drug addict and when I came to God, I found peace and I shaped up my life, that's not a rational reason. Now, that's a type of reason to believe in God, not a rational
That
one.
is rational.
That's not a rational reason.
How is that rational?
Oh,
Wait, wait, is it inductive, abductive, or deductive?
rational relative to what? Because rational has to be relative to a
I already
standard.
explained what I mean by rational. I mean
Okay,
inductive,
so
abductive,
okay,
or deductive.
so that's rational to them because it's relative to them and it's
Is
relative
it
to their.
wait, what? Wait, is it inductive, abductive, or deductive? Is it any of the three? No, it's not. So it's not a rational reason. It's a type of
So,
reason that's not rational.
dude, everything that you just said is impossible by virtue of your belief of saying that something immaterial can
What did I
exist.
say that's impossible?
How is it? How can something immaterial ever be studied or be in a process of something called inductive, deductive?
What did I say that was
How is
impossible?
that possible? How is it
Wait,
possible for it to
asking how's
ever?
it possible
Yes,
isn't establishing it's impossible,
it
and
would
it's
never.
logically possible because there's
It,
nothing in the, yeah. So logical
make it
possibility
logically possible.
deals.
Show me
It I don't know what it
non.
means. You don't make things logically possible. Things
Show me
either are or
invisibility.
aren't
Show
logically
me
possible.
invisibility without you being able to measure it. Show me. Tell me that's
Invis
logical. Show me that's logical.
invisibility. Can you stop over talking? Invisibility and being supernatural aren't the same thing. Just to be
You're
clear.
saying anything material has to be measured in order for you to count it as materialistic. If you cannot ever
Yeah,
measure
yeah.
it, how
So
is it
all
logical to believe that it's there?
what's the contradiction in me
What the fuck?
believing rationally that there's something that can't be measured?
If something can never be seen, never be measured, never be completely known to the eye or to science or to reality
And
itself,
I already said,
how can
unless
you
you're an
how can you
empiricist,
rationally deduct or induct or reduct or abduct any kind of inference from it if you can never see it, never measure it, and never observe it? How can that fit under rationality?
because there's no contradiction.
Holy shit. There's every contradiction within it.
What's the
Okay, so
contradiction?
name the contradiction.
You
He
cannot
doesn't
get
even
to
know
the
what a contradiction
basis.
is.
You cannot get to the basis of the thought without the ability to observe the action of what you're asking for.
That's
You
empiricism.
cannot.
Unless you have an argument for empiricism, then that's just like no one's gonna accept that.
What are you talking about?
Empiricism is the view that you can only know things that you get through your senses. If you can't see it, if you can't, it's not tangible. You can't smell it, taste it. Then it's just there's no way of knowing it. That's the
This is not
empiricist
my
view.
art. This is not my thought. This is your thought. I don't believe this. I
This
believe
isn't
in
my
this.
thought.
This
I
is.
never said
You
if
said you
it's no.
believe in in
Wait,
materialism.
no. When did I ever say that I'm an empiricist?
You
When
said
did I
it's
say?
possible for you to believe
Yeah,
in it.
yeah. So I'm
I
not
say
an
it's impossible.
empiricist.
I say it's
Wait,
impossible for
so
you to
then
believe it
there's a
under the standards
contradiction.
of what you're
You said
using.
that.
I said
No,
under
but
your standards of
hold
what you
on.
apply to.
I'm gonna need to mute you. You gotta calm down, chill out, right? Take a chill pill. Take some air while you're muted, and stop putting things that are not in my view that I've never said. And none of these are my views. Never said I'm an empiricist or any of this.
Yeah, I
I
just
don't
said
know where you're getting this. Sorry, I can barely hear you.
I just said I don't think he's tracking.
I'm
Sorry.
tracking
I don't.
completely. I don't think any of you guys are tracking. I
No,
think
wait, but you said
Listening to you, doesn't.
you're literally telling me that your standards of material is something that can be measured within space. And then you said it's a possibility that you can believe in something that is unmeasurable within space. So if you can
yeah.
believe in something that is unmeasurable and illogical to reality itself,
It's
how is
not
it
illogical.
possible?
It's not
How is it
illogical.
how is
It's
it a
not illogical.
possibility? How
Wait,
if
how's it illogical? No, wait,
if it's
how is it illogical?
if it's illogical because you cannot
When
it is illogical relative to your standards. Not
how is it illogical?
illogical. It
No,
is
but how is it
illogical
illogical?
because
How is it illogical to me?
exactly
Explain.
show it. Prove it. Prove it. Show
How is
me
it illogical?
show me it's possible. Show me
Okay, so
invisibility. Show me prove invisibility to me. That's essentially what you're saying you can do.
that's
Prove
different. No, 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 no,
prove
no, 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 no,
prove
no, no,
something
no,
that
no,
is
no.
immaterial.
Oh my God, do I have to mute you again when I say no? Stop. Look, now you're trying to control the conversation, and now you're not being cordial, you're not being charitable, you're not even engaging, you're not even trying to understand. You keep saying, this is your view, and I keep saying this is not my view. I've never even said 90% of what you're saying. So let's try and calm down and understand me, because you're having a huge misconception of what my view is. So calm down, try and understand me, and stop BSing and adding stuff that I've never said. Don't put words in my mouth. Okay, now, okay, I'm gonna need to mute you. Calm down. Okay, so never did I say if something's non-measurable, it's illogical. Now you're making that claim. You're making the claim too that I'm claiming that. Now, unless you're going to give the argument for that, that's not my view. I believe it's logical something is non-measurable in space. That there's something that has no measurement, has no extension in space and exists. I think that's possible. There's no contradiction either. It's logically possible. If it wasn't logically possible, unless you're a paraconsistentist or a non-classical logician, people in philosophy wouldn't believe in it at all. Right?
I don't disagree with you.
Okay, so it is, yeah, so I never said it's illogical. Nothing, okay, but you made the claim that I said that, or that you got that from my view.
No.
Nothing in my view said that. Okay, so then where did you get that? That's my view. You said that's my view. You said it's my view, it's illogical. That's not my view. I never said something remotely like that.
I want you to track, right? Me, I asked you, what is your gray line between something that is material and immaterial? You gave me a direct definition. I took that definition. And I said, okay, cool. Something that is measurable within space. Okay. If that is your definition of what is able to be tracked, understood, and
it just means material, not tracked and understood. No. That's not. See, okay, now we gotta stop. There's the error. So my view isn't that's what can be rationalized, or that can be tracked, or that's what can be known, or that's none of that's my view. My view is what material means is that it has spatial extension. And what immaterial means is that it doesn't have spatial extension. You can believe rationally in both.
Okay, cool.
I never said if you believe something supernatural or something's like immaterial. It's, yeah, so again, you're fabricating that. That's not my view. You fabricated that. No, you fabricated that. Okay, now we can move past that.
I agree with you, because you know why I agree with you? Because guess what? I'm spiritualist. I'm a Christian. I believe in the immaterial. I believe the immaterial created the material. I believe God is immaterial. He is timeless, spaceless, and immaterial. This is things that you hear from people.
Okay, so what's the issue in my view? You said that I was contradicting myself.
I believe it's possible through the immaterial.
Okay, but that's fine. There's no issue in what I said though.
It's not a contradiction, and I believe that is rational as well.
Okay,
right?
But there's no hold on, but you said there's an error in my view. I was like flipping and flopping about my understanding of rational. What I was saying was illogical.
Yes.
Okay, none of that's true.
You asked about a guy that said that he had an experience with God through like a drug addiction, right? Where he had basically
that's not a rational reason.
And you said that is not rational.
That's not a rational reason.
When I came and I said, what framework are you describing something to be?
Okay, I'll tell you again. I said it 5 times. You have to track. Actually, use your listening ears. What rational reasons are epistemic reasons. They're reasons that motivate or justify a proposition. There's 3 types of rational reasons. 3. Induction, abduction, and deduction. Believing, there's none of those, nowhere there in me believing in God because he saved me from drug addiction is there going to be an epistemic reason there. So it's not a rational reason to believe in God.
Okay, so if that is irrational, by virtue of him having a spiritual moment, that is, guess what? You cannot see it, you cannot measure it, you cannot grasp the Holy Spirit. This is what
it's not irrational because it's spiritual. I'm not saying it's irrational because it's spiritual. I'm saying it's irrational because it's non-epistemic. Even if it was, look, let's say I talked with my dad, and I said the reason I believe in my dad is because I talked with my dad. There's no rational reason there either. And my dad isn't supernatural or immaterial. Saying that I believe my dad exists because I talked with my dad, that's not a rational reason either way. The point is that it's not what substance is there. It's not about whether the type of experience is supernatural, immaterial, any of that. That's not the point. The point is it's not a rational type of explanation. It's not a rational reason.
So I want you.
Jesus.
I want you to so then give me an example.
This was said several times.
No. Give me an example of something that you can claim under rationality that is immeasurable. Give it to me.
Give you an example of some rational reason to believe in something that's not material?
Yeah. Give me a rational
I
reason.
don't. I don't have any of that.
Oh, you
I
don't.
don't have.
So if you
Yeah.
have zero,
You already asked this.
okay, so you have no reason to, you have no ability to produce that at all. So that would give me to say that that is definition of irrational because you have no
What's
ability
irrational there?
because you don't have a reason of deduction. You don't have any of the things you just mentioned to give it to me.
No, but look, what proposition is irrational?
Give it to me. I'm asking you. Show me that
No,
that
no,
is
no, no.
irrational.
Look, you said it's irrational. I'm asking you, what are you saying
I'm
is
telling you it
irrational?
is irrational because you're saying that is rational
Oh
to
my
believe
God.
something that is
But
immeasurable. So
I
show
don't
me
know
the,
what you're asking. Okay, what are you saying is
give me an
irrational? What is the
example of
thing
it. Give me an
of what?
example of
Wait, of what? Of what? What are you saying? You want an
prove
example of?
something that is
What?
immeasurable that can still be rational.
I don't even know what you're asking there.
Prove that something
I don't
immeasurable
believe. Wait,
still.
when you say prove, yeah, I know this guy's a genius. When you say prove something is immaterial, I told you. I already told you several times. I don't believe there are things that are immaterial. I'm not. I don't believe there's some. I don't believe in anything immaterial.
My
Yeah.
God.
He doesn't
But
have
you
to
still
prove
said,
that if he
I'm not
doesn't
saying
think
that
that
you
in the
did.
present.
You wait. Now you're
Wait,
now you're
just to be
definitely
clear, there's a
contradicting yourself.
difference.
You
How am I
said you
contradicting
believe it's
myself?
you said you believe that it is rational to believe in something that is immeasurable. You just said that, did you not?
Yeah, I said that there can be rational reasons to believe
Okay,
in
so
the
give me one.
immaterial. I don't
So give
have
me
any.
one.
I don't believe in it.
Okay, cool.
That's
So
not his view, present.
There's no
all right. So,
contradiction.
so
Wait,
if it's
look.
not
Okay,
your
wait. No, 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 no,
you
no,
just
no,
spoke
no,
an
no, no,
example
no,
of who the
no,
spirit
no,
is.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Stop. Look, this is the confusion you're having.
I'm not
What's
having
going
confusion. You're
on?
having
You,
confusion.
you are, you are, you are,
I'm
you
not.
are. Come. Okay, I'm gonna just mute you. This is the confusion. I'm saying it's possible you have a rational reason to believe in unicorns. And what I'm saying, there's a difference between possibility and actuality. You understand that, right? I'm saying I don't have an actual reason. I don't have an actual rational reason to believe in unicorns. But there's possibly a rational reason to believe in unicorns. You understand the difference and how I'm not contradicting myself? One is
Holy
talking about what
shit.
I actually have. I actually don't have a rational reason.
Holy shit.
Doesn't mean there can't be a possible rational reason.
Holy
That's
shit.
different.
Holy
Do you
shit.
understand?
No, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That's the dumbest shit that ever came out your mouth, my guy. You're literally,
Okay,
your whole
what did
discussion,
I say that was dumb?
you
What did I
literally,
say that was dumb?
everything that came out your mouth was fucking idiotic. You literally
Why?
said your
In
stance.
how?
It's
I
idiotic.
didn't see any issues there.
Yeah, because you're obviously on the same boat as him, so you
Wait,
wouldn't be
wait.
able to see,
How is what I said idiotic?
bro. You literally said that it fits under the definition of rationality itself for something to be immaterial and
No, I didn't say it fits
No.
under the definition of rationality.
you s-
You're not
you said
tracking at all.
you said it fits
Okay,
under
look,
rationality.
no, that's not what I said. That's a huge confusion.
So you
Look,
now it's
again,
irrational. Is
no,
it irrational? Rational?
no, oh my God. I said, okay, immaterial doesn't contribute to the definition of rationality. I'm saying the proposition there's some object that is immaterial. It's possible you have rational reasons to believe that. That's what I'm saying. It's possible there is a rational reason to believe that there is an immaterial object. And then you
Okay.
said, okay, no, wait, calm down. Then you
Okay.
said,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna need to mute you again. Don't make me mute you. Just stay quiet. Mute yourself for your own good. What you're doing is I'm saying it's possible there's a rational reason to believe there's an immaterial thing. Then you go from, okay, give me an example of an immaterial thing. Now, there's a difference between saying something is actual and something is possible. Something is possibly rational and something is actually rational are two different things. You
I know.
understand that?
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not confusing that.
So then I don't know what you're confused about. I said it's possible you have a rational reason to believe in immaterial, but I don't actually believe there is a rational reason. I don't think
Okay.
there's an actual rational
Okay.
reason. If I did think there was an actual rational reason, I would be an immaterialist. I would believe there are immaterial
Okay.
entities,
All
but
right.
I don't.
Cool.
Okay, so
So
now there's no
so
contradiction.
if,
You're just confused.
okay. So
You're not
now
tracking.
I want you to track your own words now. So I want you to tell
I've
me
been
what you're
tracking my own
basing.
words.
So tell me anything within reality that you're basing the whole possibility off of that statement on. You cannot. I asked you for it. So if you
Wait,
cannot
what are you asking me?
give me anything within reality, within logic, within anything that you know that you are basing that possibility upon, give it to me.
I'm basing it on logic.
Under what under what facts, what proof, what anything like logic,
I'm
what
not talking
really
about facts or
your
proof.
your imagination. You're basing it upon your imagination because that's all I hear right now. My
Well,
imagination
in,
my
wait,
imagination says it's
wait,
possible.
okay. Yeah, under some construals, logical possibility
Okay.
does just have to do with imagination, right? There's
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
conceptualist theories
Mhm.
of logical possibility, but
That's it.
I don't, I'm agnostic on that, but that doesn't
Okay.
matter. The point is what it takes for something to be logically possible. It's just that there isn't a contradiction,
So
right?
then,
Let me
so
give
then,
you let me
all
give you
we
an example. Let me give you an example of a contradiction, since you don't know what that is. If I say I exist and I don't exist at the same instance of time, that's a contradiction. Now if I say there is a rational reason to believe that there's an immaterial object,
okay.
nowhere in the expression does it contradict itself.
I
So it's
agree
a
with you.
logical possibility.
You see, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm telling you
You
that by
are.
no, by virtue of your thought process, you are technically no better than a Christian because you said at the core
How?
How
of
so?
by far at the core of anything that is rational to you is imagination. Imagination. That's it.
That's
That's
not what I
that's
said.
literally what you're saying. You're saying at the core of rationality for you is imagination because it's possible. Guess what you sound like?
Okay, okay. You're not tracking. You're not tracking again.
No, I'm not. That's
So
exactly what you just said.
I know. Just calm down. Let me, because I don't know how you have like a really bad, you have like this deficiency in tracking. But look, what I said deals with imagination. He paused. Hopefully you could still hear me. What I said dealt with imagination was logical possibility, logical modality, not rationality. What I said was rationality is induction, abduction, and deduction for the again. And I said something is possibly rational if it doesn't have a contradiction. So it's possible I have rational reasons to believe there's an immaterial object. Right? Why? Because there's no contradiction in the expression. I have a rational reason to believe in an
Oh,
immaterial
really?
object.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? There's no
What's the
contradiction.
contradiction there?
Show me an immaterial object. That's a contradiction. That's as contradictory as
Wait, okay, wait, where's the contradiction?
an immaterial object. Is not
What's the contradiction?
an immaterial. You just, listen to what come out your mouth, dude. An
Yeah, what's the
immaterial object.
contradiction?
An immaterial object is not a contradiction.
What's the contradiction?
Where I don't
How
see
do
a
you?
contradiction
How do
there.
you? How do you? How can you prove an immaterial object, my guy, if you can't measure it?
Wait, but you're
What's the
talking
P and
about
not
proof.
P?
No,
Yes.
yeah,
How
I'm
do?
asking what's the contradiction.
There's no contradiction to me because I'm spiritual. There's a contradiction to
No, I'm
you
asking
because
what's the contradiction in the expression.
Yeah,
there
you have to
is
say
none
the
to
P and
me.
not P.
Oh, because
So
you
what's the
can't.
contradiction?
Oh, show me an immaterial object on this planet, on this in
That's
this
a
universe.
question. What's the
Yo,
contradiction?
that's the contradiction. The other side doesn't exist. That's the
No, no,
that's
no.
what the
Look,
contradiction
okay,
is.
I'll have to explain it again. What a contradiction is, yeah, he is slow. What a contradiction is a proposition in conjunction with its negation. And I gave you the example
Yeah.
earlier. An example of an expression that's contradictory is if I say, right now, at the same instance of a time, I exist and I don't exist. That's a contradiction. Because I have
Show it to me.
show. What do you mean? Show you what?
Show me something that is immaterial and an object. Show it to me.
But that deals with actuality, not possibility. I'm
Oh,
making
good
a
lord.
possible claim. I'm
So
making
how
a
so you
possible
don't
claim.
so okay, so you don't deal with reality when speaking on possibility. Cool. Now next.
No, no. Wait, when something's
Next.
possible, that means it
Cool.
does exist in reality in some
Cool.
possible world.
All right, cool. So you don't that thank you for clarifying that. You don't deal with reality when talking about your imagination. Thank you, Christian. That makes sense. You believe in God.
What?
You believe in God, dude.
You're like spurging off and not even being charitable or trying to understand.
You actually believe in God, to be honest. That's the
How do we
conclusion.
How
believe
do
in
I
God?
what? How do I believe in
You
God?
you cannot you're literally using rationality out of your fucking imagination and saying that it is possible because
What?
you know it's probable, but you have no
Okay. Oh my
facts. You
God.
have no facts. You have no ontology. You have no deduction. You cannot tell me. You cannot show me. You cannot point to it. You cannot give it to me. You cannot give me an You can't do anything for it except for say that it's in my imagination. You sound like a Christian.
What are you talking? Wait. Okay. Just to be clear, do you know what possibility is?
I know way more than I know possibility way more than you do. My guy, trust
Oh,
me.
you study modality?
I know possibility more than you, and I'm telling you what's coming out your mouth right now is contradictory relative to what you believe.
Wait. So you study modality?
I don't have to study modality. I'm telling you what you
Wait.
are
So
doing.
wait. So
Possible is a
then
modal term. Like,
yeah. So but you said you know more about possibility than me.
Way
But do
more
you
than you.
study?
Way more.
So so you study the field of possibility?
I know. I know what you're saying
But you just
isn't
said you don't
positive.
study modality.
I don't
So
have to.
you don't know more about
I
possibility than
don't,
me.
dude. You're clearly tongue tied. You cannot get out of this. It's impossible.
Wait, do you know what a
That's
possible
impossible.
scope is? Do you know what a
That's
possible scope
impossible.
is?
Don't try and switch the conversation. Answer the question.
How am I switching the
Finish.
conversation?
Don't switch the topic. Answer it logically.
I'm not switching the
Logically,
topic.
logically show me something, an immaterial object. Logically show it to me. Give me an example of it. Go.
I don't believe there's examples of it.
Okay, cool. So you lose. That's a forfeit.
Wait, can you
What did I
show your
forfeit?
That's a
God?
forfeit.
Wait, what did I forfeit?
You forfeit your logic. You forfeit your brain.
How did I forfeit my logic?
You just lost. That's exactly what just happened. You lost
How did I lose?
because you believe in something
Tap the
immaterial.
like, guys. We need to have more people see this guy. Also, you got sent a universe, bro. Oh my god. Hopefully he buys some like philosophy books with that.
I don't need it.
Whatever money.
I don't know shit. I don't know shit
What is
about
that?
philosophy.
$10?
I told you.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
shit about philosophy.
I know I know you
I
contradicted
don't
yourself.
need it. I did
You
not.
said you know more about possibility, and then you also admitted you don't study possibility.
That's cool. That's what happens when you have a relationship with God. You can get to places that you gotta study.
That,
Okay.
that means you contradict
Wait,
yourself.
thanks for the heart. Yeah, so
You laughing at your own ignorance. You believe in immaterial material.
wait,
You laughing at
do you
your own
still
ignorance.
okay?
You
Wait,
you
do you
believe
still
that immaterial material objects is possible by virtue of nothing in reality showing you the contrary. You are ignorant at its core.
how am I
You are a
ignorant about what?
You are a believer at its core.
I'll put this on YouTube. Yeah, how am
Go
I
ahead.
ignorant about what?
What are you talking
What am I
about?
ignorant on?
Everything
Yeah,
you
you're saying
said.
that that's ignorant.
The core of your logic is contradiction. The core of your logic came down
Wait,
to
okay,
imagination.
wait. But earlier we asked you to name the contradiction, and you said it's obvious. You never actually gave the contradiction.
The contradiction of what you're saying. You just literally
Yeah,
said you just literally said there's an immaterial material object that exists.
that's not
What
what
are
I
you talking
said.
about?
No.
That's not what I said.
You
I
said
never said
you
there's a
said
material.
you
I
said it's
said it's.
possible to have an
I
immaterial, immeasurable object that exists within reality.
yeah
I said,
yeah.
give me an example of anything that said that is possible. You have
Wait,
zero.
okay.
And then you
There's
Wait,
told us
but
that
zero
wasn't
evidence.
true
wait,
There's
though.
nothing in reality
wait,
that
wait,
is
wait, wait,
possible.
wait. Do you know what the distinction between possibility and actuality is?
Yes, possibility is obviously something that can happen, and actuality is the things that it's happening.
Yeah, no. So possibility deals with under some scope or some under some worlds,
Exactly. Right.
it
Yes.
obtains,
And I believe
and
it.
actuality
I believe
means
it.
it obtains in this world.
No, I'm not. You see, I don't disagree with your
But
argument.
no.
I'm
But
telling
you don't
you,
understand.
stand.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, no. Don't stop saying yeah. You don't know where I'm going. The point is, when you say give me an example, you're asking to show you that it's actual. That's what an example is. But I'm saying it's possible, not actual. So I don't have an example. So yeah, I agree it's possible. I don't have an
No,
example because I don't believe it's actual.
I'm not. I'm not speaking on possible, actual. I'm not. I know you. I know you're not confused
But you
on that
said
part.
give
I'm talking
me.
about
But you said give
rational.
me an
I'm talking
example.
about your rational. I'm saying
Wait,
it's.
but
I'm saying you're saying that is rational. That's what I argued for. You're look above your head, my guy. You said it
yeah.
is
So yeah, I
rationality
said
is
it's
what we're talking about. I said
Yeah, I
under
said
your viewpoint,
yeah.
under
Hold
your
on.
beliefs, that
Oh my god, I'm gonna need to mute you again. I'm saying it is possible one has a rational reason to believe that there's an immaterial entity or immaterial object and or item, whatever. Right? I said it's possible you have rational reason. Then you
based on
ask to
what?
give an example. Then I'm gonna need to mute you again. I'm not done speaking. Then you say to give me an example, but now you're asking for to show it's actual, which is a different. That's shifting the goalpost clearly, right? Because
Based
what I
on
mean.
what?
Oh my god, I'm gonna need to mute you again. Just keep down until I'm done talking. So I'm saying it's possible. Then you're asking me to provide how it's actual, and I'm not making that claim. It's actual.
You keep
Okay, now
going.
you could talk.
You keep going in circles. I'm not confused about that. I'm not talking about possibility and actuality because I believe
So
in
why do
God.
you keep asking for examples?
Like through God, anything is possible. You never heard that
So why
before?
do you keep
Obviously,
asking for
I
example?
believe anything can be possible. That's just stupid
But why
not
do
to
you
believe
keep
that.
asking?
Cool.
But why do you
I'm
keep
saying
asking for?
because I'm
Why
saying
do
the
you? Oh my
standard
god! But why do you keep asking for examples then? If we're not talking about actuality.
because your foundation of what you're saying rational is coming from fucking your imagination. That's it. That's all
No
I'm
one's
saying.
saying
That's the
that.
facts. Yes, it
No
is.
one's saying
Because
that.
you're saying anything that is in my imagination and is possible should be held under rationality because it is possible. That's what
That's
that
not what
is.
I'm
That's
saying.
called, yes,
No.
it is. There's no difference. You're literally saying an immaterial material object. If it's not something you could prove within reality, that means guess what? It's in your fucking head.
Okay, so again, you're not tracking. I'm telling you that's
How
not what I'm saying. And I'm telling you that's not what I'm saying. Okay, so if that's not what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. So again, because again, you're not tracking. You have this tracking disability.
I,
Now, what I'm saying, It's possible you have a rational reason to believe that there's an immaterial object. I'm not
Based
saying
on what?
there is an okay based on logical possibility.
Based on your that's where in reality your mind.
Logical possibility deals with the fact it's not inconsistent with logic.
Where is it in reality? Your mind.
I'm not saying it's in reality. Again, when you say it's in reality, that means it's actual. You keep saying, you admitted yourself literally, what, 20, 30 seconds ago? You said, no, I understand. I'm not talking about actuality. But you're saying it's possible. Then you're pulling it out of
What
thin
are
air.
you basing it off
No one's
of?
talking.
So you can't base it
Lot,
off of
lot.
anything outside of your mind.
Oh my god. Okay. We've been through enough with him.
Yeah, that's
Everyone here knows he wasn't tracking. There was another dude who requested. I don't know if he's still here. Let me see. No, he left. Jesus Christ.
It's insufferable.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Let's wave. Dude, I hope I wonder who sent him that universe or galaxy or whatever it was. How much is that? $10? He should that's $10, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was.
Yeah, he has to try and get something. How much?
I thought it was Honest Mike, but I could be mistaken.
Honest Mike?
Yeah, in
Is
the chat. Was it you?
Oh, who sent it to him?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I didn't send him anything. I don't know who sent him the universe, but look, I don't get. I'm not gonna ever get mad at you donating to someone, but why would you donate to someone who couldn't track any, like, at least donate when they're looking their best, not when they're like wildly confused. Unless Honest Mike, I don't know anything. I don't know who this Honest Mike dude. Maybe he thought he has like the same like reasoning abilities as him, and he thought he was like destroying me or something. But whatever. The point is, he has to use that money for something good. Like buy a book. If not, just like use Library Genesis or SCP and go read. Like, oh my god. He says he knows more about possibility. Then I asked him, has he ever read about possibility or modal logic or modality? He's like, no, I never have. I'm like, okay, do you know I asked him, I even said possibility scope, just so he's not confused about modal scope. I'm like, do you know what possibility scopes are? He's like, let's not shift the question. I'm like, what do you mean shift the question? And then he asked a question after.
Mm-hmm.
So it was preliminary that I asked my question first. I don't know. That dude was a wild mess. I can't believe some people are like
Now
like
he's
that.
saying
But
you have no basis for logic. That's what he's saying in the chat. But I mean, a lot of these things just reduce down to like some tautology.
yeah, I don't know what it means to have a basis for logic. Logic's like it just reduces to a set of axioms.
Mm-hmm.
So axioms aren't grounded in like you don't have epistemic reasons for epistemic reasons also. Right? That's like when you say like what presumably when he says you don't have anything to ground logic, he's asking for like again, he doesn't know what a grounding relation is. Go read Kit Fine. Go read what like a grounding relation is. Oh my god. Dude, you lost? Okay. Have a good one, Present. Let's spam like the live. Let's see who else we can get here to get on this live.
I might be muted because I'm like doing some work. I hope that's okay. But I'll like try
Yeah,
and.
no problem. Oh, Jay Dyer's British? I never knew that. Okay, I got owned. Well, this will go on YouTube, so let's see who else thinks I got owned. Yeah. Also, this was the same guy who thought that epistemology and causality were like they were like interconnected somehow. So like, you think metaphysics and epistemology are like analytically intertwined or something. So
Yeah,
I don't think anyone takes you serious. Yeah, that was silly. He said like if you don't believe in causality, then you have no reasons. Which doesn't make sense because obviously there's non-causal reasons for things.
Yeah, I was going to, because like this is usually how I explain causality. You have like some event A that influences event B, and the maxima is typically like just the speed of light. Although you don't have to use the maxima, you could consider like, for instance, like a pressure wave that travels at the speed of sound. But we could talk about like causality and different causal chains without like without invoking a god, right? And similar, like we could also talk about different rules of inference without invoking causality. So.
Oh, actually, maybe let me add him up because we derailed too much. I want to know what the causality thing even had to do with God. Was he saying there's a cause for the universe or something, and that has to be God or something?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But also that's just not. It's actually logically impossible. There's like a cause for the universe, anyways. But whatever. But yeah, yeah, he's gonna say, yeah, well, that's like some precept thing. He doesn't know. We asked him. Literally, Steven gave me the idea, or I think was it you or someone in the chat? I don't remember. Someone gave me the idea to ask what he meant by grounding, and he didn't actually have like a definition.
Yeah, I think that was Jim.
And yeah, and then I had to tell him like how it's standardly defined as like a metaphysical relation between like a predicate instantiated in an object. So like a red car, the redness is grounded in the car.
Okay.
And then he said, how do you ground rationality? And there's not an item and a predicate in the expression, so we would just be like some type of grounding non-cognitivist in that context where he said, what's rationality's grounding, because it doesn't even seem clear what he's asking.
I'm still new to like some of the philosophy. So like in that example, could we just say that like the car is predicated on being red? Would that be?
Yeah. So the car being predicated of red, we would say that the red is grounded in the car, right? So
Okay.
like the car metaphysically exhibits the predicate or something like that.
I see. I'm taking a
He's actually
philosophy
back.
course now, but I'm still like a bit new to it.
Yeah, philosophy is good,
Mhm.
but hey, what's up, present? What did you
What's going
said
on,
that
man?
just to get back on track? You said that because cause something about causality leading to the rational reason of God. Where were you going with that?
Um, I kind of like. Are you gonna give me a rational reason as to why like it's irrational for somebody homeless to believe in God through a material experience?
Oh, it's just irrational analytically. We can do conceptual analysis. So they didn't make a deductive inference when they believed in God based on their experience. They didn't make an inductive inference, and they didn't make an abductive one. So they believed in God merely based on the experience and without inferential consideration. Unless you can inform me what was the inference they made.
I would say that the experience would be the only one of the only ways that something immaterial can kind of make its imprint
But that's
on
not what
you.
I'm asking. You said, how is that not a rational reason? And
I'm
then I
saying
explained how
logically
it's
that
not.
follows.
And I explained how it's not a rational reason.
I'm
And presumably you think it still is. So I'm wondering what's the inferential reason there? What's the
Yeah, I'm
inference?
saying I'm saying if we both agree that something immaterial cannot be measured within time, within space, right? If something immaterial was to make an impact on somebody, it wouldn't be measurable. It would be most likely under the category of experiential.
But that doesn't answer my
That's
question at
more
all.
that's more logical than saying I just can measure the immeasurable, or I can believe in the immeasurable, or I can
I don't know
get.
what you're talking about, but that doesn't. What I asked was, what was the inferential transition they go from the experience to the belief? Actually, what's the inference?
I
You
use
didn't
your own.
really.
I don't like I said. You're using a lot of like philosophy
Okay, so
terms.
you
I
don't
don't. I
even know
don't.
what an inference is. Okay,
What
so
do
if
you
you
mean?
don't know what an inference is, you just don't know what a rational reason is.
You're saying an inference is relative to
A rational reason.
a rational reason, right? Yeah. So I'm
So
saying
like when
that.
you learn like basic like propositional logic, one of the topics
Okay.
you learn are rules of inference, right? You could
Yeah.
have like, different relations, like there's subset relations, there's biconditionals, there's equivalence, there's these different like rules of inference, right?
Yeah. I know these things are like. I mean, it's common knowledge to you guys because I'm pretty sure you stay in your books all day and just. I mean, what I heard you was 18 the other day. I'm 31, my guy. I've been out of school for almost 10 years. It's two completely different people talking. So yeah, when I'm saying I'm just referencing what he's saying is in reference to your definition. So I'm giving your definition under how it can be logical for him. Something immaterial. If something immaterial is immeasurable,
I'm
guess
not
what
saying
that
it's
is?
illogical.
Okay, so it's rational then.
I've been no wait. Logical doesn't mean rational.
Wait, what? How does logic and rationality cannot like what, so
No,
you're
because yeah, so logic encompasses a lot. Logic encompasses modality insofar as there's logical modality. Logic encompasses deduction, it, insofar as it, like some syntactical inference, right? Like
Mhm.
well-formed formulas that constitute like some inferential deduction. There's logic in the sense of orders of logic. There's logic in the sense of metalogic, like,
hmm hmm
fictionalism, uh,
hmm
Platonism, naturalism. There's
Hmm.
logic. There's many senses and branches, rabbit trails we can go into logic. But when you say like it's rational or it's logical that there's an immaterial object, that doesn't mean it's rational.
I would argue that
Because what I'm saying is when I say it's logical, I'm saying it's logically possible. It's not. There's not a logical reason. I'm not saying there's a logical reason, insofar as that there's like a deduction.
would you give me the difference between the two? A logical reason and something being
Yeah. So a
logical.
logical reason would be a deductive argument. A
Okay,
logical
so
possibility just means that it's consistent with the laws of logic. This is the same thing I've said how many times the chat can tell me in our conversation prior. I've literally repeated this.
I'm
You
not
are
saying
understanding. Oh my
I'm
god.
not saying that you're not repeating it. I'm saying that the differences that you're trying to make distinct within each other aren't as distinct when it comes to this topic as you believe they are.
No,
I
but you're saying,
they are
but
not.
yeah. So I was saying that it's logically possible there's immaterial objects. I wasn't saying that there exists an actual logical sound reason I'm acquainted with for
Yeah,
the
you're
existence of
just
immaterial objects.
you're separating so many different trains of thoughts that you don't understand what actually goes together when they need to go together. So everything that
What
you
do you
do is
wait?
just
What am why? No,
everything
I'm
you're
saying
doing is
that
just categorized to this category goes here. This
no.
category goes here.
No. I'm saying you're making
Oh,
the confusion of saying that because I'm saying it's logically possible, that I'm saying there's a logically sound reason, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're saying, oh, you're saying it's logical, therefore it's
no,
rational. That's
I'm
not what's
speaking
being
on
said.
I'm speaking. Okay, so let me just tell you what I think of rational. What is something rational? What is something logical? So maybe you can understand where I'm
No,
coming
no,
from,
no.
right?
That's not. No, we don't need to do that. The point
Okay,
is
cool. So
that
you
you
just
actually haven't gotten to the rational reason, and you said I was contradicting myself, saying that there is the rational reason. But I never said there is the rational reason. I said it's logically possible. Then you asked me for examples. Then I told you when you talk about exemplifying the possibility means it's actual. And I was saying I don't believe it's actual. I think it's possible. So you can't ask for me to exemplify the possibility, because an example of it just establish it's not possible and that it's actual.
okay. So
And then you
I
also went from I'm saying it's
I'm
logical to saying it's rational. But I was saying it's logically possible, not it's
I am
logically
okay.
deduced or
All
something.
right. So this is I'm not look, bro. I'm not even thinking for like I believe what you believe. I'm just saying what you believe holds a different outcome relative to what your standards are. These are the
What
two
outcome
different,
does it? What
right?
are you talking about?
Your standards of how your standards are contradictory relative to what you're saying.
Wait, what's the
That's what I'm
contradiction?
saying.
Yeah,
So
what's the
yours
contradiction?
okay, so your standards you have such a high standard of what you like anytime or like I'm a
Wait, but
little
what's
bit
the
off track.
contradiction?
Can I tell you?
You're not telling me though.
I am telling
Okay,
you.
wait. Do you know what a contradiction is?
Oh Jesus Christ. Am I gonna be able to finish?
I just want you to clarify because
Can I
you
finish?
weren't giving me a contradiction, and you said,
I'm
"Can I give it to you?" So it's like you're acting like you are currently trying to present the contradiction, yet you're not.
okay,
So I'm
so
just
am
curious
I
if
gonna
we're
finish?
not talking past each other.
How do you know what I'm doing if I'm not able
Okay,
to?
look, if you can present the contradiction, I don't want you to ramble. Just present the contradiction.
I'm not
And if
rambling. I'm
you're,
just
well, yeah, because you weren't giving me the contradiction, so that it would be a ramble. Because what you're saying isn't pertinent to whether or not there's a contradiction, because
you
you
just
weren't
had 10.
illuminating the contradiction.
I've been patient. You had 10 different random ramble sessions.
I didn't ramble because everything I said was pertinent, right? What you're saying right now isn't pertinent to what's the contradiction.
How do you know what
What's
I'm
the
saying is pertinent or not?
because it's not the answer. Of what's the contradiction?
Am I gonna be able to speak without like your
Okay, so
interest?
what's the contradiction?
Okay, cool. The contradiction between you saying something. Look at your title. Are there rational reasons to believe in God? Rationality, to me, is within the construct of God Himself. So when I'm looking at rationality, I'm looking at it through
Okay,
our
that's not what I
Creator.
mean though. Now
No,
you're equivocating.
okay, okay, cool. Now I'm not saying that you mean that, but I'm saying
No,
by
but that's not the
wait,
point.
wait,
No,
it is the
no.
point.
But that isn't because the point is it rational under my lights, right? The standard way any philosopher or
Yes,
scientist would
I
talk about
get it.
rationality,
I'm speaking.
not rational as in it comes from
I'm
God.
saying
That's literally how no
you
one
are
talks about rationality.
you
Okay,
are
look.
speaking. You are saying the same thing. You just don't know you're saying.
So
That's why I said
what's
I
the
called you a Christian.
contradiction? What's okay? So what's the
You're literally
contradiction?
okay. So the contradiction is this: what you use as facts, evidence. Oh, well, this give me proof, right?
I'll bring you up in a moment,
Everything that
Hila.
Everything
Continue.
that you and other atheists use as facts, evidence, and proof has to do with our reality,
Okay,
right?
but okay,
Something
so you don't know what a
tangible
contradiction
or
is.
intangible. Wait,
Okay,
wait,
wait,
wait, wait.
wait.
Can I
No,
finish?
but
Everything you're doing has to do with
I'm not
reality.
gonna let you finish unless you begin giving the contradiction.
It is a contradiction because everything you're
Okay, so you
saying,
don't know what a contradiction is. That's fine.
because you're saying
I'll,
I can be
I'll, I'll
Christian,
help you
but you
out. I'll
can't be
help you
Christian.
out. Okay, look, you don't know
You
what a
saying I can be
contradiction is.
Christian,
That's
but you
fine.
can't be Christian. You saying I can
Look,
use my imagination, but you can't.
no one's
That's
saying that.
exactly, yes, you are. You literally are saying that. You're literally saying I can say something is logical to me because my imagination, but as a
I never said
Christian,
it's not logical.
yes, you are. Every single thing about what you're saying is
I
saying
said it's not actual. I said it's logically
what's the
possible for
opposite of
both of us.
rational? What's the opposite of rational?
Irrational.
Okay, irrational. Okay, so if you're saying are there rational reasons to believe in God, right? You're asking for the rationality. The question would not be asked if you believe that it was rational to believe in God. Yes or no?
No, that's not true, but continue.
Okay, cool. So it doesn't necessarily have to be true, and I'll give that to you. But for the most part, you're basically saying this concept is irrational
I'll
because
bring you
it
up
is
RS in a moment.
it is
Oh, he left. So.
contrary it is contrary to reality. And what is contrary to reality is anti-factual. And what is anti-factual is something that you cannot prove through facts of reality. So if it's
What are you
anti-factual,
talking about?
if something is
I want to know
some
what the contradiction is.
the contradiction is something that is possible but is not proving is if you are using that as a basis of saying that I have right to say that this is
Because possible
okay,
isn't
if this
actual.
is rational reasoning.
Possibility doesn't mean it's in reality.
I'm just saying it's
That's not
rational
what
reasoning.
possibility means.
Rational. I'm not saying actual. I'm not saying that possibility. I'm saying rational. I'm talking about rationality. You're saying it's rational to you. You're saying something that you
What
cannot.
is?
You're saying something that is immaterial, immeasurable is rational to you to
No,
think.
I didn't say
To
that. I said
think.
it's logically possible that you can have, anyone can have. It's logically possible someone has a rational reason to believe in an immaterial object. But when you say give me an example, you're saying that
You're
it,
that
it is.
someone.
Yeah, I take it it's
You are
logically
that
possible.
someone. Yes. So you're the someone
Yeah.
that's speaking.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't turn on anything, right? I said
Yes, it
everyone.
does. You're the one making a
How,
statement, not another
wait,
person.
how does that turn on anything?
Because you're making that statement. This is your opinion on how
Okay, that's
you.
fine.
Okay,
That
so it's
again, that
not.
doesn't turn on anything.
It does. It turns on everything because this means your belief.
How?
Just because you're speaking for yourself.
Okay, this guy's not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna bring this